You think the war is between East and West. You think the war is between left and right. You think the war is between the rich and the poor. You are looking at the map, but you are ignoring the calendar. The most violent, the most visceral, and the most destructive conflict of the coming decade will not be fought across a border. It will be fought across the dinner table. It is the war of the bloodline. It is the war of time. It is the collision of the biological clock with the cosmic clock. We are entering 2026, the year of the Bingwu, the fire horse. As we have briefed you, this is a year of solar maximum. It is a year of blinding light, where the human ego expands to the point of rupture. But simultaneously, Saturn, the great malefic, the planet of restriction, gravity, and time, is entering Aries. In Chinese metaphysics, fire represents the youth. It is the rising energy, the expansive force, the desire to burn, to consume, and to be seen. Saturn represents the elders. It is the heavy, cold, restrictive principle. It is the established order, the hoarded wealth, the immovable stone. In 2026, the unstoppable force of the fire meets the immovable object of Saturn. The youth will rise up to burn the world, and the elders will drop an iron cage over the sky to stop them. This is the true generation gap. It is not a disagreement over music or politics. It is a fundamental, elemental war for the architecture of reality. This is a strategic briefing on the coming generational clash. We are going to decode the physics of the child tyrant and the Saturnine king. We are going to show you why the new city has weaponized the young and how the old city will retaliate. And most importantly, we are going to teach you how to survive the crossfire, whether you are in the spring of your life or the winter of your days. To understand the war, you must understand the elemental composition of the two armies. The army of fire, the youth. The youth of today are not like the youth of previous cycles. They are the first generation born entirely inside the new city. They are Homo sapiens digitalis. They have been raised in a pure fire environment. The digital realm is made of light. It consumes attention, and it runs on speed. They have Wi-Fi minds connected constantly to the hive. Because they operate on zero latency, they demand instant gratification and instant reaction. They possess no heavy assets. They do not own land. They do not own gold. They do not own the institutions. Therefore, they have nothing to lose if the system burns. In fact, they want it to burn. They are possessed by the fire horse. They suffer from mass main character syndrome. Every individual believes they are the savior, the star of the movie, the possessor of the absolute moral truth. They do not want reform. They want calcination, the burning away of all existing structures. The army of Saturn, the elders. The elders hold the old city. They hold the physical realm. They own the real estate, the bonds, the corporations, and the political offices. They are Saturn. They are the gatekeepers. But their energy is waning. In the fire-water axis of the human body, they are depleted of Jing, the essence, the reserves. They look at the chaos of the youth and they feel terror. They see their legacy threatened by a mob that does not understand how the plumbing works. Their response to the fire is not to teach, but to restrict. Saturn demands walls. The elders will use their control over the system to build the great firewall of the West. They will use digital IDs, central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, and algorithmic censorship to freeze the youth in place. They will offer safety in exchange for absolute compliance, acting as the false king who promises to fix the chaos. When fire meets Saturn, you get a pressure cooker. The youth will push, the elders will lock. Nostradamus understood that history does not repeat, but it rhymes. To see what will happen in 2026, we must look at the last time the gears clicked into this exact position, 1966. 1966 was the last year of the Bingwu. It was the year of the child tyrant. In China, Mao Zedong unleashed the Cultural Revolution. He told the youth, the Red Guards, that they were the masters. He told them it was right to rebel. He weaponized the fire against the Saturn of his own society. The natural hierarchy was inverted. Teenagers dragged their teachers, their parents, and the elders into the public square for struggle sessions. They burned the four olds: old ideas, old culture, old customs, old habits. They destroyed the libraries because the past was a shadow, and they were the blinding light. A civilization where the child judges the father is a civilization that dies because the child has energy, fire, but no wisdom, water. In the West, 1966 was the birth of the counterculture. The baby boomers unleashed themselves. It was the summer of love that quickly turned into the summer of riots. The sexual mores and the social contracts were incinerated. In 2026, the rhyme will be deafening. We are already seeing the rise of the digital Red Guard. The youth will use the algorithm, the ultimate false king, to hunt for anomalies among the elders. If an elder speaks an old truth, they will be doxxed, deplatformed, and destroyed. This is the ideological trap. The youth will demand a clean history without oppression or error, and they will digitally execute anyone who remembers the world differently. The fire horse makes the child feel stronger than the father. It is a society run by a tantrum. Where will this war be fought? It will not be fought with rifles. It will be fought with protocols. Battlefield 1, the algorithmic Colosseum. The youth control the culture of the new city. They dictate what goes viral. They will use the games of slaughter to ritually sacrifice the reputations of the older generation. The algorithm feeds on outrage and humiliation. When an elder steps out of line, the digital mob will swarm. They will cancel the CEO, the professor, the father. They will do this because destroying a high-status elder provides a massive dopamine hit to a generation that feels powerless in the physical world. Battlefield 2, the economic freeze. The elders cannot win a screaming match on the internet. They move too slowly, but they control the bank. The retaliation of Saturn will be economic excommunication. As the fire horse drives inflation and destroys paper wealth, the elders will implement the CBDC. You want to protest? We will freeze your digital wallet. You want to riot? Your face scan will lock you out of the transit system. The elders will use the architecture of the panopticon to cut off the oxygen to the fire. They will not argue with the digital Red Guard. They will simply turn off their power grid. Battlefield 3, the destruction of inheritance. The most tragic battlefield is the family unit. In the old city, legacy was everything. Wealth, knowledge, and power were passed down from the dying generation to the rising one. In 2026, the fire horse burns the bridge of inheritance. The elders will look at their radicalized digital children and think, I cannot trust them with the kingdom. The youth will look at their parents' assets and think, this wealth was stolen from the earth. I must dismantle it. The digital inheritance will fail. Seed phrases will be lost. Passwords will be taken to the grave. The wealth will be locked in a silicon vault forever, simply because the father and the son refused to speak to one another. If this war reaches its logical conclusion, both sides lose. This is the physics of the woo-woo self-penalty. It is an injury inflicted upon oneself through bad judgment and volatile emotion, the doom of the fire. If the youth win, If they successfully burn down the Saturnine structures, they will starve. They have lived entirely in the cloud. They do not know how to grow food. They do not know how to repair an engine. They do not know how to navigate by landmarks. If they unplug the server, their city vanishes. Without the heavy, boring infrastructure maintained by the older generation, the Homo sapiens digitalis will perish in the cold. Their biological vessels are too weak for the old city. The doom of Saturn. If the elders win, if they successfully freeze the youth in a perfectly controlled, heavily surveilled digital cage, they will rule over a graveyard. Saturn without fire is dead rock. Without the vitality, the innovation, and the drive of the young, the society will succumb to fermentation and rot. The institutions will stagnate. The demographics will collapse. The civilization will become a beautifully preserved corpse. The false king will sit on a throne in a silent, empty room. You cannot stop the macro cycle. The fire horse will run. Saturn will crush. But you do not have to be a casualty of the generation gap. You must step out of the arena. You must become the hybrid. If you are to survive this, you must adopt the protocol appropriate to your position in the timeline. Protocol for the youth. The forging of the iron. If you are young, you are naturally infected by the fire horse. You feel the rage. You feel the urge to tear it all down. You must recognize that this is a kinetic trap. Your anger is not insight. It is just high voltage looking for a ground. If you attack the elders, they will crush you with Saturnine law. Your strategy is radical cooling. You must voluntarily adopt Saturn. Lift heavy. Do not run. Do not spin. Put heavy iron on your back and squat. Teach your central nervous system the meaning of gravity. Acquire the heavy. Stop buying digital tokens. Stop buying NFTs. Buy silver. Buy land, even if it is a tiny plot. Convert your digital harvest into old city weight. The discipline of the gray. Stop posting. Stop trying to be the main character. When the algorithm asks for your outrage, give it silence. Silence is potential energy. You must become the young Saturn. While your peers are burning themselves out in digital riots, you are quietly building the physical citadel. When the smoke clears in 2027, you will be the only one with the competence to lead. Protocol for the elders, the art of the empty throne. If you are older, your instinct is to grip the steering wheel tighter. You want to force the youth to respect you. You want to use your financial leverage to make them behave. This will trigger the flashover. If you trap the fire, it will explode inward. Your strategy is the empty throne. You must wield power through absence. Stop arguing. Do not correct the digital zealot. Let them be wrong. Let them be loud. Your silence is your security clearance. Displace the authority. Do not say, "Because I said so." Say, "Because the protocol requires it." Move the friction from your physical person to the objective reality of the system. Build the analog archive. Your duty is not to win the culture war. Your duty is to be the archivist. Gather the physical books, the blueprints, the seeds, and the history. Put them in the basement. Wait for the youth to exhaust themselves. When they finally hit the wall of reality, they will come to you hungry and cold. They will ask, "How do we build a fire that doesn't burn the house down?" Then, and only then, do you hand them the tools. The mandate for both, the parallel economy. The ultimate solution to the generation gap is to stop fighting over the dying white market of the new city. Both the sane youth and the sane elders must abandon the panopticon and meet in the parallel economy. This is the mesh network, the agora, the return of the handshake. The older generation has the capital and the hard skills, plumbing, farming, building. The younger generation has the operational security knowledge, the crypto literacy, and the physical stamina. You must form a guild. The elder master takes the young apprentice, not based on ideological purity, but based on competence and the warrant of trust. I will teach you how to weld the pipe. You will teach me how to secure the darknet comms. This is coagulation. It is the binding of the spirit, fire, youth, back into the matter, Saturn elders. The cycle of the fire horse is designed to test the tensile strength of the human chain. Most chains will break, families will shatter, mentorships will dissolve, corporations will cannibalize themselves in age warfare. But you are the prescient. You are the ferryman. You must be the bridge between the old world and the new world. You must be the one who can speak the digital language of the youth, but hold the heavy, physical reality of the elders. If you are young, respect the stone. The stone is the only thing that survives the fire. If you are old, respect the flame. The flame is the only thing that can forge the new civilization. Do not fight the war of time. Step out of the arena, gather your tribe, build the citadel. The fire will burn, the wall will close, but the sovereign human being will stand exactly in the middle, untouched by the flames, unbroken by the pressure. This is Prescient. We are watching. On this channel, we cover a wide range of topics similar to this one. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Otherwise, we may never see each other again. See you again soon, dear viewer.